this is Pixie, just an installation. Well, hopefully it works out. To do with the Spooky 2 for my experiment. Yeah, trying to update it, but it was some sort of conflict. The old program. I don't really want to manually have to delete stuff. Then reinstall it. Bit of a drag really, but let's see how it goes. So it's slowly making progress. We might hit an error where the arrow is about there. It might say something about Lyme disease folder being protected or something. We need to resolve and reinstall. But we're seeing ours, well, yeah, we're both for you, to be honest. So it looks like it's doing alright. The word Lyme. It's interesting to say about Morgellons. There's a chap I see, this older chap who's in his 90s, and he's finding he's pulling bits of things out of his body. He tends to say it's like pains in his nerves. They give him a powerful painkiller, but he's finding little shards inside him that he's pulling out. He used to work in a kind of construction industry at different levels as a carpenter, but he's finding these strange sort of like fibres inside me. He thinks they're plants, so it's a bit of a mystery what they are. I thought he was pulling his hairs out of his body because he was sensing that there's something there and it's not, and he believes it is and he's pulled it out. However, it could be very well be some sort of Morgellons that is growing inside his body. I don't know. It also depends on his medication they're giving him, or how that's affecting him as well. So yeah, interesting. I think why I'm at it, I might as well talk about this quickly. So that was a little Christmas tree, doubling its size. As you can see, these little white dots. So my finger, these little white dots are buds. There's a vine. I cut the vine, but it might actually re-green up, which would be great. It had whopping great heart things. I don't think these two can belong to each other in the pot together too long, because they just won't get along. Because the nature of a vine and the nature of a bloody tree in there. But it's weird actually. What's weird is the way they're growing. It's not growing towards it. I know it's growing towards the light, but it's keeping well away from the vine. So the installation is going quite well. This is the latest software from the Spooky 2's website. Actually it says 2019 11/23. Yep, so it's not too far now. It's interesting what's going on. I've only tapped in to a small section of the Spooky 2 generators. These other machines here are a bit more heavy duty. You've got in the background. Depends on your budget though. If you get into it, then you can mess around with it. So my interest is sort of developing into a kind of experimental area of science. So it's kind of like quantum genetics really. So we're using the Rife frequencies, and your body has natural biofrequencies anyway, so you're tapping into that and stimulating it. So it's a bit hard for people to take in. Depends what they've studied about quantum physics. Nearly there. Can't be too long now. Talked about the introduction. For the introduction at the end of the program. Interesting. You can also do a colloidal silver program, but you have to have the colloidal adapter. You don't really need to spend a load of money on it. You could just make it with a couple of bloody wires. However, you might be able to put a frequency into the registering the components. Interesting. You might be able to put some frequencies in differently into the silver. That will get transmuted into the water. Yeah. Launch it. Yes, that will now launch the Chrome. Select the option below. Yes, launch the program file and then finish. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm just restarting it. It was taking too long loading up. Can't see, there it is, logging off. I think what I'll do is I'll end the video now, and when I got it up and running, then I'll do another video, so see you in a bit.